Smuggling is often seen as reckless and chaotic, but some smugglers operated with almost surgical precision. They didn't rely on speed or force, they relied on ideas. Brilliant, unexpected, and sometimes unbelievably bold. Over the years, border authorities around the world have uncovered schemes so clever, they force security systems to change forever. In today's video, we'll look at some of the most ingenious smugglers in history. Real cases, real people, and the mistakes that ultimately exposed them. Let's begin. In 2015, Chinese customs officers at the border with Hong Kong noticed a man behaving oddly. He was walking slowly and stiffly, barely bending his knees. His posture looked unnatural, as if his body was resisting every step. At first, his luggage raised no concerns. No prohibited items, no suspicious documents. But when the man passed through a metal detector, the alarms immediately went off. During a physical inspection, officers uncovered the truth. More than 90 smartphones were taped directly to his torso, legs, and arms. Among them were iPhones and other high-end models that were extremely popular at the time. The motive was financial. Electronics carried across the border illegally could avoid import taxes and resell for thousands of dollars in profit. The plan relied on one assumption, that a human body would attract less attention than a suitcase. What ruined it was not technology, it was body language. Authorities later stated that unusual movement remains one of the most common indicators of smuggling attempts. That case proved one important thing. Smugglers often rely on the human body itself. Movement, posture, behavior, every detail matters. But hiding objects on the body was only the beginning. In the next case, smugglers took a different approach. Instead of using the body, they turned everyday clothing into a hiding place. At Dhaka's main international airport, customs officers noticed several passengers displaying visible nervousness. They avoided eye contact. They adjusted their clothes repeatedly. During secondary screening, officers made a discovery. Small gold bars had been sewn into shirt cuffs, waistbands, and hidden inside shoes. In total, more than 2 kilograms of pure gold were seized. Gold is one of the oldest smuggling commodities in history. It is compact, valuable, and difficult to detect without close inspection. Smugglers often rely on the idea that clothing is personal and rarely examined in detail. But experienced customs officers are trained to look for behavioral clues first, not objects. The smugglers were arrested on the spot, and the gold was confiscated as evidence. Every attempt at deception leaves a trail. In the world of international customs, nothing goes unnoticed for long. The battle between smugglers and security continues, with technology and intuition as the primary weapons. Stay tuned as we uncover more cases where the ordinary becomes the ultimate hiding place. Smuggling gold in clothing relies on precision and concealment. Small details, careful planning. But not every smuggler hides behind fabric. Some hide behind something far more powerful: trust. At a European land border, officers stopped a family traveling in a private car. 2 adults, 3 children. Everything appeared ordinary. There were no signs of urgency, no nervous movements, no suspicious luggage. Still, experienced officers noticed small inconsistencies. Interior panels showed fresh scratches. Some parts of the vehicle didn't fit as they should. A deeper inspection followed. Hidden compartments were found inside the car's structure, carefully built, professionally concealed. Inside were bundles of undeclared cash, dozens of packages, tightly wrapped and evenly distributed. The smugglers relied on psychology rather than speed. This time, it didn't. That case showed how powerful appearances can be. Trust, routine, and familiarity can lower even the strongest defenses. But psychology was only part of the equation. As technology evolved, smugglers began using something else: distance. And in the next case, the border wasn't a road or a checkpoint. It was a prison wall. By the mid-2010s, prison systems across Europe faced an unexpected challenge: civilian drones. Small quadcopters were used to deliver phones, drugs, and cutting tools directly into prison yards. The advantage was speed. A drone could approach, drop a package, and vanish within seconds. Traditional security methods were useless. In response, British authorities introduced specialized counter-drone units. Signal jammers, detection systems, and aerial monitoring were deployed. This marked a turning point. Smuggling was no longer limited to physical borders. Drones changed the rules of smuggling. They removed physical barriers. Walls, fences, and distance no longer mattered. But technology isn't always the answer. In the next case, smugglers didn't rely on machines at all. They relied on something alive, something fragile, and far more difficult to control. Wildlife smuggling is considered one of the largest illegal markets worldwide. In Norway, customs officers stopped a traveler whose behavior appeared unusually tense. During inspection, officers found snakes taped to his body inside fabric bags. Lizards were hidden in small containers under his clothing. The animals were alive, but severely stressed. Authorities later confirmed the suspect had a history of similar offenses. Experts warned that many animals do not survive such transport methods. This crime harms ecosystems, not just laws. Smuggling animals comes with risks no system can fully control: stress, movement, unpredictable behavior. But sometimes, the cargo isn't an object or an animal. Sometimes, it's a person. And in the next case, smuggling wasn't about profit at all. It was about escape. In 2011, prison guards in Mexico stopped a woman leaving after a routine visit. Her suitcase seemed unusually heavy and unbalanced. Inside, guards found a man curled into a tight space: her partner. The escape attempt relied on trust, routine, and distraction. It failed immediately. Both individuals were detained, and the prisoner was returned to custody under stricter conditions. That escape attempt was desperate, risky, and poorly disguised. But not every smuggling plan is driven by panic. Some are built carefully, with tools, measurements, and patience. In the next case, the hiding place wasn't luggage. It was part of the vehicle itself. At the U.S. Mexico border in 2001, inspectors noticed irregularities inside a minibus. One passenger seat looked thicker than the others. Upon dismantling it, officers discovered a man hidden inside a hollowed compartment. He had remained inside for hours with limited air supply. The construction required technical skill and planning. But border inspections focus on vehicles as much as people. The attempt failed. That plan required tools, time, and precise construction. Every detail had to be engineered. But not all smugglers have the skills or the patience for that. Some choose a faster approach, simpler, cruder. And in the next case, the hiding place wasn't built at all. It was worn. At an airport in French Guiana, customs officers stopped a man acting nervously. During inspection, they discovered live birds hidden inside his pants. Each bird had been wrapped individually to prevent movement and noise. Authorities later confirmed the suspect had a previous conviction for animal smuggling. Repeat offenders often reuse old methods. That's why they're caught. Each of these smugglers believed their plan was flawless, calculated, invisible. But every system has limits, and every scheme leaves evidence behind, no matter how clever the idea. These cases aren't just about crime. They're about how systems are tested and improved. Every attempt forces authorities to adapt, to rethink security, and to close the next loophole. History shows that no method stays hidden forever. Thanks for watching.